I'm basically buying the module officially just because it's the right thing to do. So I'm going to buy the module, then ignore whatever files are associated with it. I'm going to run to the Pirates, download their version or get their wiki link, and use that instead. You know, I like anybody else, love supporting the small guy, love supporting the third-party content creators. Let me tell you about something that happened to me that kind of created this eureka moment, something I discovered by accident that just made me realize that the way most third-party content is being distributed right now is like making everyone unhappy. 9 times out of 10, when you buy something that's third-party, you just get a PDF and that's really the end of it, right? You buy it, you get the PDF, and nobody likes PDFs. No one likes scrolling through 300, 400 pages just to get to the one part you need. Nobody likes the fact that if there's a map or anything that isn't text, you don't get the map in a separate file. You get it on the PDF. So you have to find some way to pull it in lower quality, of course, because it's not going to be as good as if it was a separate file, right? You just hope to God you find it on Google or someone's like stored it somewhere. Third-party content is now in a place where there's giants in the industry that are not just Hasbro. That's not just Wizards of the Coast. It's not just first party. We've seen multiple Kickstarters going to the millions. Like, just to name a few, we're talking about the MCDM RPG. We're talking about all of Matt Colville's stuff. We're talking about all the Critical Role stuff, all of the XP to level 3 stuff. Any content creator that's put out a piece of third-party content, such as an adventure or settings book, they just run the gamut. There's big money to be made here. Yet when it comes to putting these things digital, they just kind of don't do as much as they could have. And they scan the book, turn it into the PDF file, and call it a day. And you know, it sucks to use. I don't know how to describe it. It sucks to use. Until recently, when partnered content just started being allowed on D&D Beyond, people just had to suck it up. You had the PDF file, and that's it. Maybe if you're using Fantasy Ground, you could, get the opportunity to buy it twice on Fantasy Ground and then buy it again on Roll20. But if you're talking about something open source, it's a PDF. So to make the point I'm about to make, realize I used a piece of software called Foundry. It's a virtual tabletop. It's pretty popular. You may have heard of it. If you haven't, just know it's basically like an open source virtual tabletop where people can create their own modules and add them to the community and so on and so forth. It's very much an eclectic, we all work together to make it better sort of thing. Anyways, I'm running this adventure called Chains of Asmodeus, which is actually a first-party module, but because D&D, Hasbro, WotC, whatever, is cramming so many freaking books out to run out all the time, they literally didn't have like room on the schedule to put it on D&D Beyond, so they just threw it to DM's Guild, and where you can buy it there. Anyways, bought it, been running it using the PDF file, which I'm such a big fan of, and I was running it. I just, we endured it, right? That's what we do when you use these third-party pieces. We endured it. One day, I happened upon a site called 5e Tools. And 5e Tools is a sort of a repository of questionable legality of popular modules, adventures, and settings books. And what would you know, they also have third-party content on there. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of like piracy. But the part I want to get to is when I let my curiosity get the better of me and searched up Chains of Asmodeus up on that site. And it was there. It was there. Chains of Asmodeus, the entire module. I clicked on it, and what do you know? It was a perfectly made wiki of the adventure. It was so much better than the PDF. It had all the chapters on the side. You could click it to expand or collapse it. You can click onto specific parts of the adventure. It had clickable names. If you clicked on a name, it would take you to the stat block associated with it, or the appendix or the handout or whatever. The maps were in separate image files that you could just download, enlarge, and do whatever. Every token, every stat block was already parsed. So like all I had to do was sort of just transfer it over. It was amazing. And my first thought was, this is great. This is amazing. And my second thought was, why are the pirates doing this and not the actual publishers? There's like a famous sort of interaction from Gabe Newell, who, if you don't know, is the founder and CEO of Valve, a company that used to make games, but now they are the company that proudly owns Steam. They basically the only name in digital game purchasing. There's other players, but everyone's fighting for second place, right? Anyways, when he was confronted about the piracy rampant in the gaming space, he said very clearly, piracy is largely a problem of convenience and a problem of delivering a product that is superior. There's always going to be a percentage of people that are going to pirate no matter what. No matter what you do, they're going to pirate. But most people pirate because it's more convenient.
So from our point of view, what we saw more and more is that piracy is the result of bad service. So an example where that was really clear is Russia, right? So there's no point in localizing your game. There's no point in making your product available in Russia because all they'll do is pirate it. You know, when the reality is that the pirates in Russia were actually doing a much better job than the games companies themselves in localizing the product and making it available.
And if you make it a better product for the customer, they will be much more less likely to pirate. We can see this model in many places, like Steam. It's very convenient. They have sales all the time. You buy the game, it's in your inventory as soon as you download it. Very convenient. Netflix, until recently, solved the piracy problem for a bit because it was a lot easier to just stream the favorite movie you wanted to see instead of getting on a torrent and downloading a CD file and hoping that it is what you wanted it to be without it being like bad quality or having some virus attached, that sort of thing. But now bringing it back around to DnD, if the pirates are creating a better product than the actual official method, then why is the customer supporting you besides morality, right? And some of you might say, oh, well, these publishers, these third-party content makers, they can't really afford to create something beyond just a simple PDF file. It's too much work. There's programming involved. There's coding involved. Look, we're not asking for the world. I'm just asking for a wiki. You can just make a wikia. There's so many sites where you can do that now. Imagine if you locked a wiki behind a sort of paywall, where if you didn't buy the product, you would not be able to access it. Because that's what the pirates are doing now, minus the paywall. And again, these aren't like tiny mom and pop publishers or creators I'm going after. I'm not talking about Garage GM Dave, who just like put up his one shot that he made for his friends up on DM's Guild. I'm talking about Critical Role. I'm talking about Matt Colville, MCDN Productions, right? I'm talking about XP to Level 3. I'm talking about the content creator stuff like Drakengard, Grim Hollow, the Ghostfire Gaming. I'm talking about the biggest names in third-party publishing. They're all just throwing up a PDF file and calling it a day. And it's kind of insane to me that there's no like work being put forth. Like, yeah, sure. You've got your Fantasy Grounds versions you can buy and your Roll20 versions you can buy. But as soon as you switch VTTs, which can happen as more than you think, why would you want to lock your content to one singular platform? You buy let's say you buy Chains of Asmodeus on Roll20, right? And then you want to show a friend it, but your friend uses Fantasy Grounds. I gotta buy it again? Come on. Nah, we can't do that. Come on. So yeah, these big players, we're talking about in the millions now. They're not just making a few bucks. The Kickstarters alone have made millions of dollars in pre-product revenue. We're talking about before the book is even out. Matt Colville just raised $3 million on an idea. It's called the MCDM RPG. It's not even done yet, and it's already got $3 million to its name. So yeah, these people can certainly afford someone to open up a wiki, add like a login page to it, and start, cranking out parsed info. No one likes it. No one likes the current ecosystem. It's just a matter of effort. It can certainly be done. It really can. I really believe that. And you might say there's no market for it. No one really cares about that stuff. Besides ignoring the Kickstarter stuff alone, online D&D is just as popular, if not more popular than in-person D&D now. In my personal anecdotal experience, every person I know who plays D&D usually plays it only online because there's not great resources to find a group nearby. There's a whole tumultuous reasons why, but it's just ease of access, ease to find players, and it's like, You can really have your pick of the litter of what kind of game you want instead of what games you get, right? I mean, I remember in 2020, Watchy threw out this whole thing about this infographic about the current numbers of D&D Beyond, and they say something about 50 million registered accounts. Even if like 1/10 of those accounts are active, that's still a lot of people using D&D Beyond to play D&D. Guessing a good amount of those are digital. If you had a market cap of a few million players that you know are using online D&D, why are you just throwing up a PDF file and calling it a day? It's crazy to me that this multi-million-dollar companies like just are so content with giving less and giving pirates a great opportunity to do better than them. You're just losing sales every time you just throw up a PDF file and call it a day. I don't get it. So yeah, this is sort of my question to the universe, throwing it out there like, why does it have to be this way? It doesn't have to be this way. It could be so much better for everyone. But as of now, I'm basically buying the module officially just because it's the right thing to do. So I'm going to buy the module, then ignore whatever files are associated with it, throw away the PDF. I'm going to run to the pirates, download their version or get their wiki link, and use that instead because it's just so much easier to prep. I don't know. The conclusion, basically the point is like, it shouldn't be this way, right? These third-party companies have the means, the energy and the time and the assets to create a better product. And for some reason, they're just not doing it. So until they do, I'm going to use the pirate resources. I'm going to do it. Give me a better option. Because right now the only option is I either use the wiki, the nice tools the pirates are using or providing for us, or I just hope that your content ends up on D&D Beyond, where it's parsed there. God, you would not believe the relief on my face when Tal'Dorei Reborn finally became available on D&D Beyond. Do you know how big that PDF file is? I think it's something like 350 pages. So if you ever need to look up a faction or a location or a subclass or a quest or a monster, it gets so out of hand. So now it's on D&D Beyond. It seems that I don't want to say if it's laziness, but it just seems like a blind spot. It's definitely a blind spot. So third-party publishers, please stop throwing up PDF files and calling it a day. You have all these beautiful websites. Would it be so much trouble to like add an account system and and when I log in, it's able to detect all the purchase stuff I get, and based off all the purchase stuff that I got, I can access the wikis that I have access to, that sort of thing. It's just an idea, because otherwise, in the meantime, I'm just going to use the pirate tools to get the better version of your product. I don't know if that sits right with you. It doesn't to me, but until then, it makes my prepping easier. It makes my job easier. I'm gonna do it. So please make a wiki. That's the video. That's the video. Hit like, comment, and subscribe. That's it. I'm out. Bye.